Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the forum will begin shortly. May we ask you to kindly have a seat, please? Thank you. สวัสดีค่ะ Good evening. Welcome you all to the second Sustainable Development Goal Forum. It is my honor to be your MC today. I'm Tidapha Siddhikon Phaiboon, a first secretary from the Department of International Economic Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, may I now invite Deputy Director General of the Department of International Economic Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand, Ms. Prangtip Kanchanahatthakit, onto the stage to deliver her opening remarks. Please, DDG.
Your Excellency Kashiwabara-san, Mekong Some Leader of Japan, co-host of the second Mekong Japan SDG Forum, senior officials of the Mekong countries, distinguished speakers, moderators, and participants. สวัสดีค่ะครั้งหนึ่งนะคะก็โอไฮโอโกไซมัส Good morning. It's my great honor to welcome you all to the second Mekong Japan SDG Forum, co-hosted by Thailand and Japan. The forum today is timely and significant as the Mekong sub-region faces evolving challenges that impact the quality of life of our people. We gather here today against the backdrop of ongoing regional and global challenges, including the persistent hurdles in achieving sustainable development. In recent years, the Mekong sub-region has become increasingly vulnerable to adverse impacts caused by climate change and human-induced environmental challenges. Climate change continues to bring unimaginable consequences on environment. For example, unseasoned flash floods and droughts, and the decline of ecosystems and biodiversity. At the same time, transboundary air pollution has also posed difficulties affecting health, agriculture, and environment. These issues have undoubtedly impacted our ways of life. Therefore, it's now the time for us to come together and put our utmost efforts in strengthening regional and global partnerships for sustainable development. We must accelerate our collective action towards achieving the SDG by 2030, including to tackle the common challenge I mentioned earlier. The discussion today presents an opportunity for us to exchange views and insights on pressing issues requiring immediate action, in particular on water resource management and transboundary haze and pollution prevention and mitigation. Excellencies, distinguished guests, since the adoption of the Mekong Japan Initiative for SDG towards 2030 and the upgrade of the Green Mekong Forum to the Mekong Japan SDG Forum, Mekong countries and Japan have demonstrated our commitment to advancing the said initiative encompassing all dimensions of the SDG and promoting inclusive participation of all stakeholders. The success of the first Mekong Japan SDG Forum in 2021 was a testament to the Mekong Japan partnership. Building upon such achievement, Thailand and Japan have joined hands once again to co-organize the second SDG Forum to provide a knowledge sharing and inspirational platform to push forward tangible cooperation in realizing the SDG in our sub-region. I'm pleased to see broad and inclusive participation today with representatives from government agencies, academia, civil society, media, and members of the diplomatic corps, both in person and online. Today's forum not only reflects Japan's long-standing contributions to the sub-regional development, both through Mekong Japan Cooperation Framework and ACMEX, which Japan is among the first of its development partners, but also highlights the collective determination of Mekong Japan Cooperation member countries to work even more closely together to ensure a safe, green, and resilient Mekong sub-region. Excellencies, distinguished guests, for Thailand, we remain a firm advocate for sustainable development across all fora. As the ASEAN Coordinator for Sustainable Development Cooperation and co-host of this forum, Thailand is committed to working with all stakeholders, especially our Mekong neighbors and Japan, to achieve a sustainable, prosperous Mekong sub-region. In closing, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to our Japanese colleagues, particularly from Gai Musho, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan, and the Embassy of Japan in Bangkok, for their collaboration in making today's forum possible. I also wish to extend my best wishes for this forum's success. I'm certain that with insights and expertise from distinguished speakers and engagement from participants, we will be able to generate meaningful takeaways and practical solutions to address the challenges confronting our region on the path towards the SDG. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, DDG Prangtip. Ladies and gentlemen, may I take this opportunity to provide you a brief background of today's forums. The SDG Forum is an upgraded version of Green Mekong Forum, which is co-hosted by Thailand and Japan that some of you may be familiar with. After the upgraded, the first SDG Forum was held in 2021 through an online platform. Therefore, we are delighted to welcome you to the first ever in-person SDG Forum today. We also would like to extend a very warm welcome to those of you who are joining us online. The SDG Forum today is co-hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan, aiming to demonstrate our commitment to supporting the implementations of the Mekong Japan Cooperation Strategy 2024, which was adopted at the 15th Mekong Japan Foreign Minister meeting in July last year. The main objective of this strategy is to strengthen cooperation between Mekong regions and Japan for the betterment of our people and advancing the achievement of sustainable development goals. It is also address emerging challenges within the sub-regions against the backdrop of shifting regional and global contexts. Recently, the Mekong sub-region is facing several issues related to water and air. For example, Typhoon Yagi affected millions of people in the sub-region last year. The Mekong region is not only affected by typhoon, but also drought. The Mekong River Commission point out that the Mekong Basin is likely to experience more severe droughts in the next 30 years due to decreased precipitations and high air temperatures. In addition to the water issue, the Mekong subregions also suffers from severe air pollution. It was reported that air pollution level in several cities in the Mekong subregions were among of the worst in the world in January this year. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, this forum is suitable and timely platform to discuss on these common pressing issues for our sub-regions. Our forum will be divided into two sessions. First session will be on water resources management, followed by discussion and Q&A sessions. We will also hear comment from Mekong Som leader from Cambodia and Vietnam. After that, we will move on to the second session. We will discuss on the trans-boundary haze and pollutions. We also hear comment from some leader of the Lao PDR and Myanmar. Without further ado, now I would like to hand over the floor to Mr. Watson, an associate professor from Thammasat University, who will moderating our first session today. Please, Professor. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished guests. So my name is Vasan. I have to moderate the very first session for this important forum, which is on a water resource management, in which we have three speakers from three countries. Let me introduce each speaker one by one. Let's begin with the representative from Japan. He will talk about the reduced environmental and social impact toward the better future of Mekong. Please welcome Dr. Nagata Kenji from JICA. Okay. As for now, he is a senior advisor on water resource of JICA, Japan. And next, we have a representative from Laos. As for now, he is the Vice Dean of the Faculty of Water Resources, National University of Laos. Please welcome Dr. Keo Dongchai Keo Kampui from Laos. And last but not the least, she's a former high-ranking officer of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Thailand. But as for now, she's the Chief Executive Officer of the Mekong River Commission Secretariat. Please welcome Kun Pusadi Santipitak. Each speaker will present the idea on how to manage the water resource in the Mekong basin. And after that, we have two representatives from Vietnam and Cambodia to lead a kind of discussion and comments on this topic. So let's begin with Dr. Nagata first. He will make a presentation on reduce environmental and social impacts toward the better future of Mekong. Please, Dr. Nagata.
Thank you very much. And good morning, distinguished guests. And first of all, I would like to say thank you very much for Mekong SOM leaders, especially Ms. Rujikong Sain Chantra from Thailand, and also Mr. Yutaka Kashiwabara from Japan for their leading this great forum. It is my great honor to make presentation here now, and I'm work for JICA as a senior advisor on water resources. And I'm pursuing for more than 20 years to practically apply integrated water resources management to the real world. Because, you know, IWRM, it is a beautiful definitions, but sometimes someone said it is very difficult to apply to the real world to solve the water resources problems. But we would like to try to solve water resources problems through applying integrated water resources management concept. And so my job in JICA now is relating to achieving Sustainable Development Goals 6 on water, and especially SDGs 6.5 IWRM, and also transboundary water governance. I believe such efforts relating to water resources to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals 6. But these activities help also to achieving the other SDGs, such as agriculture, hygiene, energy, and natural environment. Relating to the, sorry, I need to proceed. This one. Relating to the Mekong River Basin and the people living there, I have a fundamental question. It is how we can address the water resources issues and how we can change the behavior for a better future of Mekong under the climate change risks and development pressures. I think the key words are evidence-based cooperation and creation of knowledge actionable. So that is the key words, I think. I'll try to show you today environmental and social impacts in Mekong now and the theory of change toward the better future of the Mekong, I think. As you've already known the situation and Mekong River Basin, but I would like to show once again and to recognize the importance of cooperation among Mekong countries. Mekong River has about 5,000 kilometer length with about 800,000 square kilometer catchment area. And there are about 65 million people are living. The basin is shared by the 6 countries. The area occupied and flow contributions are between 8% to 35% among 6 countries except Myanmar. Laos has the biggest flow contribution of 35%, and China's flow contribution is also large, about 16%. The flow contribution by Thailand and Cambodia is also large, 18%. Vietnam is located in the most downstream with a little less flow contribution to 11%. As you can see these photographs, Mekong River is blessed with affluent nature and discharge. Mekong is one of the richest biodiversity in the world. Number of fish species is more than 1,200. The fishery industry is very important in economic activities in Mekong in each area. Moreover, fishes are the essential protein as a food for Mekong people. Mekong has great nature. At the same time, Mekong forms an economic corridor having lively business activities. Mekong River is a major trade route between Western China and Southeast Asia. Mekong has a high expectation of economic development. Many domestic and foreign companies, private companies, have been finding their way into Mekong. At the end of last month, I was in Chiang Rai. Mekong has a great potential of development, but also Mekong is faced with a lot of severe risks. I was at the Chiang Rai last month, attending the fifth Mekong Dialogue with Mae Fau Luan University. And I saw the beautiful evening scenery here. I took the photo from the restaurant, good Thai restaurant. And this is the Kok River. You know, many people has already known the Kok River is tributary of Mekong River and flooded and inundated the Chiang Rai cities. And last year, September and August, and because of Typhoon Yogi, as already mentioned. So one major cause of serious impacts and risks to Mekong people is climate change. By 2060, the temperature will raise 3.3 degrees Celsius in maximum. And rainfall may decrease by 16% in dry season, causing drought. And rainfall may increase by 17% in wet season, may cause flooding. So according to an MRC report, climate change impact is not just a threat, but a present and reality for the millions of Mekong people. The economies, ecosystems, sustainability, and social harmony is all at risk. More specifically, agriculture, hydropower, navigation, water supply, and coastal infrastructures, plants and animals, and people's connectivity, all of these are at risk or will be at risk. The impacts are particularly severe in local communities. The impacts are not limited within the national boundaries. The other major cause of serious impacts and risks is development. Mekong is faced with tremendous development pressures because of its rich potential, and such as population increase, economic development, hydropower dam development, irrigation development, inland water transportation, and deforestation. And these development brings huge benefit. However, the various development pressures and the climate change certainly cause bad impacts to the people and ecosystem across national borders as well as within a country. Projects implemented by one country may directly or indirectly pose significant impacts to the downstream. I summarize the causes and the impacts that affect regional societies and ecosystem in Mekong. The causes are classified into three causes. One is extreme weather and climate change, and dam construction, and other development. Focusing on local communities and the environment, the impact and risks are drought, flood, ecosystem, fisheries, seawater intrusions, groundwater salinization and social impact to Tonle Sap Lake, resettlement, and unfair allocation of benefits. I think each government shall take measures, but the critical issue is the transboundary governance. So we should cooperate to tackle transboundary impacts and risks. Yes. So based on these causes and impacts listed before, water resources challenges in Mekong can be classified into these 4 major challenges and 8 main issues. The major challenges are improvement of flow regime. Second one is conservation of ecosystem and water quality. And third is sediment flow management. And fourth is the correction of sharing imbalanced benefit sharing. And main issue is, as I've already explained, drought, flood, river segmentalization, and water qualities, and seawater intrusions, sediment, livelihood, and benefit sharing. The 6 basins countries and their supporters, like donors, like us, should collaborate to address these challenges and issues toward the better future of Mekong. But how? That is the question. So for us to do so, collaborate as one of the solutions, I would like to show my idea, the theory of change toward the future of Mekong. The first step is to clarify the benefits and losses produced by various developments. Of course, we also need to clarify loss and damage by the climate change. The second step is to define the causal linkages between causes and impacts. To do so, a kind of the IPCC of climate change, IPCC for Mekong, is maybe a very effective. So I may propose to create a Mekong Scientific Platform, MSP, as a multi-stakeholder partnership. This is also MSP. As the third and fourth steps, the evidence-based findings contribute to plan solutions, to build consensus among stakeholders, and to make decisions for implementation. The final outcome must be the implementation of the measures toward the better future and well-being for all Mekong people. The key word here is all science, including natural and social sciences, and all Mekong means the 6 countries and supporters must care all the Mekong people who are suffering the present situations and must look up and look for the way toward a better future with cooperation. So this is the final page. I would like to summarize my presentation as the conclusions. So Mekong has affluent natural resources and economic potential. However, Mekong is faced with economic development pressures and resultant risks and loss and damages. Extreme weather and climate change exacerbate the loss and damage. The world community and the basin countries need to mitigate the loss and damage caused by climate change, and developers, including countries, should reduce the loss and damage caused by their development. Evidence-based cooperation will foster the better future of Mekong. The Mekong Scientific Platform scientifically prove the cause and effect linkage between causes and impacts. The MSP, Mekong Scientific Platform, creates knowledge actionable for inclusive and sustainable Mekong River and its people. Thank you very much for your concentration. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Nagata. He raised many important issues relating to the how should we manage the water resources in the Mekong Basin. And one of the interesting points is that Laos is one of the biggest country in terms of flow contribution, around 38%, right? So let's move to the second speaker, Dr. Keo Dong Chai. He will talk about the state of river basin in Nam Tha Integrated River Basin Management. Please, Dr. Keo.
Spidey, good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am Keo Dong Chai from Laos. I work as a lecturer at the National University of Laos, but also I work with the Nam Tha River Basins Management Projects. These projects, I just giving you a background of this. Actually, these projects was prepared in 2017 and also accepted 2023. So these projects was financed by Global Environment Facilities, GEPS. And then the projects implemented in 6 Asian countries, Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam. So we work in parallel with 6 Asian countries, and also the regional hub here is a UNDP Bangkok to manage the fund, and then also executive agency is PEMC. PEMC is a partnership in environment management in sea in the Philippines, right? So these projects will implemented 5 years periods from 2023 to 2027. So in my presentations, I have 5 sectors, and then you see the beautiful of Nam Tha River, but also it's very serious situation right now. For the background that I mentioned earlier, I don't want to give any details, but actually in my slide, so you will see the location of the priority river basin in 6 Asian countries that we implemented currently. For the objectives of these projects is to establish functional IRBM, not IRBM. We also work with ICMs, is integrated coastal management, because in 2 countries like Philippines and Vietnam, also coastal countries. So we look at the situations. And also in Laos, we want to update existing version of Nam Tha River Basin profiles. That government already accepted implement the management plan from 21 to 25, but during this time, so we have many challenges. So we want to update in your area situation because from climate change and also repeat development in the basins. So the location of the Namta, as you know, Namta also the tributary of the Mekongs in the northern parts of Laos. That, as the professor said, Mekong is a international river, right? It's flow from China to Cambodia. Also, Namta River also tributary. So we want to see the situation in Namta that flow to Namkong, and then we will evaluate the situation, especially pollution from Namta River. In Namta River, cover 3 provinces and 11 districts. So in this area, various ethnic minorities to live. So the mean living condition is quite different. So it's very hard to come up with socio-economic evaluations in these areas. So the population, I don't want to look at detail. Maybe you can find in my PowerPoint. But you look at the pictures. So the mean populations in these areas from Laolum up to the Mont. But in 3 type, there are a lot of minority inside. So in the report, we provide details of the ethnic minorities. For the preparation of SORB reports, we work in 6 Asian countries in parallel. So right now, in Laos, and Cambodia, Vietnam, we almost done with the SORB report. But the 3 countries still conducting survey and collect information. So what we do for preparation of the SORB reports, we review not only from the Asian country, also we look at the Mekong SORB report. So we compare the indicators, and also we have an expert from Japan who prepare templates, and then also indicator where we want to collect data and put in reports. And then in 6 countries, we also establish technical working groups to collect and conduct field visit and also stakeholder consultation to get the information from the local authority up to central reviews in provincial and also in the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resource. So we have 6 steps of collecting SORB reports. So one, we identifies the situations, and also we establish working groups, and then also we collect data, and then also analysis, and then also we validate on consultation, not only in Laos, but we have joy or validate the information in regional workshops in Cambodia last year, and also in Indonesia, and recently in Xiamen. It's like a congress in Xiamen. We also conduct to present our work. So in the reports, we conclude 32 indicators from socio-economics, physical, and then foreign challenges, everything inside there. So right now the report almost complete, and then we will publish in the PEMC website and then also in the DWR website of Lao PDRs, and then maybe at the end of this meeting I will share the website, and then you can access to the information. So the challenge for now, because the projects gave us only 1 year period for correct data and then complete a report. So it's very hard to come up to all the districts that our project cover. So while what we did during preparation, we communicate with local authority, like districts, natural resource and environment office, especially for water units, and also pond race. In each province to collect data from like agencies that we identify, like in Laos we have 8 sectors that related to water resource management and utilizations. So we collect data based on their roles, and then they use. So, as many people said, last year we have faced with Yaqui. So in Namthai River Basin also has a problem. So in September 9th, and the repeat of fresh flood in Namthai River. So as you see in the pictures, almost people there were survive, and then one small hydropowers in an upper of the district or also collapse with the nearby the spillways. So it's a very big issues in the northern parts. In Namthai River, they said maybe it's the biggest in 50 years or 60 years. So all the people in the embankment of this Namthai, so it were flat. And also, even though in on the airports, also the level of flood around 1 meter. So in urban area of Namthai province, for 1 week cannot communicate with each other. So right now the government of Laos want to recover the station, but many things are still challenges. So in our projects, we want to address this climate change, also risk of flood in along the rivers. So for opportunity that we conduct reports, so many communities involved in provide information and also discussion the deforestation with the issues, and also the HUOs and CSO in this area also support our ideas, because for the Namthai River basins a lot of activity like agriculture activities and also minings and also deforestation. So right now the government also focus on these issues, and then also the projects want to reduce the pollution to the Mekong and then go to the seas or something. So as the end of my PowerPoint, you as you see, and that is hydropower is overflood, or also in the plant, power plant also flooded. So it's very, very serious. And also on the bottom of the pictures is urban area of Namtar province. So as you see, it's very serious situation. In summary, I think my work almost complete in SORV report, but in the next steps, we want to look the method for reduce the pollutions. So right now we identified like a pilot projects, waste management projects that will be implemented in 6 Asian also, because we work in parallel with 6 Asian countries, and also the pilot projects we want to reduce plastics or to promote a local income with the waste to waste to money or something like that. Sorry. Thank you very much for your attention. This is end of my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Gao. Dr. Gao point out to us that the Mekong River is not all about Mekong River and the community along the river, but it also connected to many rivers and other water resources and other community along the Mekong River. So that's why the collaboration and cooperation at all levels, at the country level, international level, as well as the community level, is important. So that's why the governance body or mechanism in order to manage the water resource within this region is very important. So that's why I think it's quite interesting to listen to Kun Busadi. She will talk about the future role of the Mekong River Commission, which is one of the quite interesting mechanism as well. Please, Ms. Busadi, chen kap.
Thank you very much, and good morning to everyone. And Mr. Kashiwabara Yutaka Mekong Som, leader of Japan, Kun Prangtip Jen Hatakan, Deputy Director General, representing the Mekong Som leader of the Thailand. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this invitation extended to me to speak here today. It's an honor for me to speak for the first time in my capacity as the 4th riparian and the first female CEO of the Mekong River Commission Secretariat. I'm pleased also to share my views today on the future directions of the Mekong River Commission in achieving the SDGs and addressing environmental challenges. Having said that, I believe that what the MRC has been doing is also in line with Japan's most recent document on the Mekong, Japan Cooperation Strategy 2024, adopted last July. In particular, I think the successful implementation of the realization of the Green Mekong as outlined in the 3rd pillar of that strategy, where Mekong countries appreciated Japan's support on environmental issues towards realizing SDGs are very important. And I think the Mekong countries and Japan welcome the strong cooperation on sustainable water resources management in collaboration with the MRC. And also Japan's generous support to the MRC is very much appreciated through the project for flood and drought management in the Mekong River Basin. Last Friday, I have just signed an agreement on this project, which is phase 3, with His Excellency Koizumi Tsutomu, Ambassador of Japan to Lao PDR, and wish again to record our sincere appreciation for this continued generous support from Japan and particularly the government of Japan. Future directions of the Mekong-Japan cooperation based on that strategy, I think, and the existence of various Mekong-related frameworks are very important. We can certainly do better through better coordination and the use of shared resources to ensure efficiency and productive outcomes based on strength of the various platform and synergy in efforts. We, of course, the MRC, we commit ourselves to the relevant pillars and sub-items, especially on the water resources management and disaster risk reductions, which is a core function of the Mekong River Commission in sustainable development and management of the Mekong River Basin. Clearly, the challenges facing the Mekong River is complex, as outlined by previous speakers, both to man-made and affected by climate change. So I think we all agree on that context of where we are coming from. And having said that, if I may, just to outline and refresh your memories of where we are in the basis of the Mekong River Commission cooperation, and I think you would know that the 1995 Mekong Agreement forms that basis of collaboration amongst the four countries of the Mekong Agreement parties in ensuring and achieving the sustainable development of the Mekong River Basin. And it establishes the goals, objectives, and underlying principles by which the four member countries, namely Cambodia, Laos PDR, Thailand, and Vietnam, intend to cooperate, and to which the strategy responds. And certainly, we have an RC planning cycle, which are the 6 steps and forms this basis for the MRB indicator framework, mentioned by the previous speaker on the State of the Basin report. The last one was in 2023, and then we have our national and regional strategies and plans, scenario assessments, and of course, the Basin Development Strategy, which we are now using under the 2021 to 2030, and we have a strategic plan. At the moment, we are working, we have come to the last year of the strategic plan of 2021 to 25, and we are in the process of working on the multi-year work plan of 25-26 and formulating the next one of the strategic plan, which is, again, the 2026 to 2030. So the strategy, 10 years, as I mentioned, covers the entire Mekong River Basin, covers all water-related sources, and integrates SDGs relevant to water resources management. And a very important aspect is the gender and vulnerability approach to account for this cross-sectoral, intersectional inequity and different dimensions of vulnerability. And we have, of course, mainstreamed that in our work plan as well. And how will the Basin Development Strategy address these water-related issues, particularly similar goals in the SDGs? We divide into 5 parts: environment, social, economics, climate change, and cooperation. The relevant SDG goals, of course, the main ones are here. Environment, it's 6, 13, and 15, to ensure that we maintain the ecological function of the MRB in good condition. Secondly, the social sector, 1, 2, 3, 5, enable inclusive access and utilization of the basin's water and related resources. 3, economic sector, 7, 8, 9, 12, enhancing optimal and sustainable development of water and related resources. 4, climate change, which has become increasingly a challenge. How do we address that? Through strengthening of resilience against climate risk, extreme floods and droughts. And the 5th sector is cooperation, which is an essential part to this collaboration. I think cooperation partnerships will remain the main basis of our collaboration. And of course, this is a win-win, I think, cooperation strategy for all basin countries and stakeholders in this region, which have been here for a long time. And what are the outcomes of these basin aims to achieve by 2030? 1, to maintain the ecological function of the Mekong, ensure there's adequate river flows, quality sediment transport, which is becoming an increasing challenge for us, ecosystem services from river and wetland habitats. Secondly, to enable inclusive access and utilization of water and related resources, so addressing food, water, energy security sectors. These becomes more broader headings, but it's a challenge for all of us to work together. And of course, employment increase and poverty reduced among the vulnerable people, depending on these river resources. So livelihoods are very important. Third, enhance optimal and sustainable development of water and related sectors. Economic growth of all the basin countries increase from, we are also implementing a proactive regional planning that is going to become a very important tool, particularly including a decision support framework through a science-based approach, which many has mentioned before. And inclusive growth and sustainability enhance all these affect agriculture, fisheries, sediments, hydropower, navigation, environment, and fishery sectors, as indicated by previous speakers as well. And fourthly, the next aspect is on strengthening resilience against climate risk, extreme floods and droughts, again, a core activity of the MRC. But how do we better achieve basin communities to be better informed and prepared? We have introduced systems through application of the Mekong app that was introduced last year, using of more accessibility for the people and communities to ensure that there is timely, accurate, and in that step to prepare the people better. So this is a coordinated system, a coordinated approach. We have to strengthen the synergies between the work that is being done by the MRC and the National Mekong committees in various agencies. Disaster management and adaptation, I think this is where we also work together. Our goals and objectives are aligned. And fifth, to achieve and strengthen cooperation among all basin countries and stakeholders. So these are the outcomes, and the implementation surely is very important. And the various parts, we cannot do it alone. We can never do things alone. It's a concerted effort which requires intergovernmental cooperation, involvement of all stakeholders, the key agencies, private sector, CEOs, and the media. And this will certainly contribute to the formulation of the next strategic plan. Many previous speakers talked about the 2023 State of the Basin report, which we also divide to 5 key areas in addressing environment dimension, social dimension, economic dimension, climate change dimension, and cooperation dimension. So this is briefly the strategic indicators that we work on. And how does that contribute to achieving the SDGs within the MRB? I just would like to mention that, of course, as I outlined previously, the environment dimension in the SOBR, we have a preliminary design guidance for proposed mainstream dams. There is increased recognition of what we need to do more on the tributaries. And I think the most challenging aspect is on the guidelines for transboundary environmental impact assessment, which we achieved, is a voluntary document, and it's a voluntary guidelines which we achieved in 2022. And these were applied to the Sekong A hydropower project. The second part is on the social dimension of the SOBR. We have published a technical guidance for the protection and restoration of key fish habitats of regional importance. We are working with the GEF, developing a 12 million fisheries project, and this goes to the heart and the core as well when you talk about fisheries in the Mekong River Basin. This to be executed by the MRC through the IUCN, and we also collaborate with national governments and agencies to collect data in the social dimension, as I indicated, with regards to the work that we do when it's very interrelated in terms of social equity, vulnerabilities, and the gender aspect, which we mainstream through the help of our development partners. The next one is on the economic dimension. We certainly see the rapid growth that many have mentioned before. We recognize that these various sectors along the MRB contribute to robust economic performance, total value based on a few years ago statistics in 2020 of $63 billion, and only out of that, the total fisheries production is 8.2 billion in aquaculture and 7.8 billion from captured fisheries. So how do we sustain that ecosystem in the changing nature of the work that we do? Climate change dimension is another one. We have launched, as I mentioned, more access for the public to see what we do, how the work is applicable and relevant to their daily lives. We have a TV channel focused on Mekong flood and drought forecasting. Through the work that we do, of course, we're 4 members, but we do recognize the importance of working closely with our dialogue partners, and that is in Myanmar and in China, the upper riparian countries, particularly with China. We have done a technical-based joint study support on changing hydrological conditions in the Mekong Basin, completed in 2023. We'll continue with phase 2. Then another core part which we are integrating our efforts towards the integrated water resources management is again a very important project that we have to pioneer and work, which is going to be important not only in on the river monitoring network, but it's also a response, I think, to the previous flood that had been mentioned by previous speakers, and the unfortunate loss that has occurred out of that flood situation last September, and that was exacerbated by the Typhoon Yagi. So I think that is where we will be working on. And of course, we have a 9-core, 9 transboundary joint project between Cambodia and Thailand. This is also another multifaceted aspect of cooperation introduced and endorsed by the member countries to work on this. And the other aspect, when we talk about hydrological and of course the infrastructure, the hydropower projects, and the way that we have to integrate the approaches through traditional means, but I think we need new systems, we need new technology, we need to upgrade our own capacities. This will be something that we will be looking at in the next steps towards transitioning to 2030, which is another challenge that I didn't mention earlier, was that we will be self-financing by 2030. So we have to get our priorities right through limited resources, but we still do need support from development partners when it comes to capacity building, when it comes to key areas of strength where we can work together with these development partners. Cooperation dimension, many outlined about navigation, transboundary impacts of the Mekong. I already outlined the joint study between MRC and China through the Lanchang Mekong Water Resources Management Center. Other mechanisms that we have, as you know, we have the Joint Committee, we have the Council, we have an MRC summit every 4 years. Next year will be held in Thailand, and we have the annual Regional Stakeholder Forum. So all the approaches have been taken into account. It's a multi-sectional undertaking. But specifics when it comes to technical reports and detailed effects, and the work that we do will continue to be very important in that regard. So these are the information that we have. We have been receiving shared information from key countries when it comes to the sharing of operational dams. We hope that will become more transparent in the future. And again, when it comes to just down to my 2 slides, I'm mindful of the time. With the MRC Japan cooperation, through the phase 3 project that I had mentioned for strengthening flood and drought risk management in the lower Mekong. That is very important as we build on the first and the second phases. The third phase will allow more impactful and the work that we have done in phase 1 and phase 2, strengthening and ensuring that the information is out to the public and communities was very much welcome. It was successful. So this phase would be even more strengthened, and it supports us, the MRC, when we talk about flood and drought management. We'll be looking more at the drought because I think it impacts on the agricultural aspects, the livelihoods of the communities that we have to be more concerned with. And the project that we have, another one with Japan, is on the project for improving irrigation facilities in the lower Mekong basin. And so these are very much appreciated by the MRC and the Mekong countries recipient. And so for the next future directions, I think these will together become the key work that we will have to strengthen on. Key 7 areas in the future, but it's again related to SDGs, strengthening and advancing forecasting capabilities, new forecasting tools and methodologies, more accurate, more reliable, more timely for predictions of flood and drought, and that's going to be relevant. Enhancing early warning systems. I think this is where the aspect of disaster preparedness comes in. We, of course, look to other organizations to see, our work with development partners, but also with ASEAN or the Asian Disaster Preparedness Center. And certainly building climate resilience. For us, it's an important aspect that we have to work on. And the climate resilience, sharing, knowledge sharing tools, working with member countries to support communities. That is something that we will continue to do. And supporting decision making, I mentioned about upgrading our tools for decision making tools and data. How do we deliver the accurate decisions or recommendations rather, to decision making policy makers in timely manner and through management. Strengthening regional collaboration, I think that will become, it's not a dispensable factor. It has to be integrated, working together with all the key agencies and member countries. Accessing international climate funds, as I mentioned earlier, this will be very important as well. Through, for example, the Global Climate Fund and Adaptation Fund. We're working towards that preparation. And at the end of the day, I think implementation of an adaptive basin plan, so prioritization, implementation of joint projects contributing to the water, the food, energy nexus, and mitigation and adaptation to climate change. So these are very complex issues, but the MRC will be addressing our work through these achievements and outlined and objectives. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Busadi. She already summarized many key aspects that we should move forward in order to address the issue relating to the sustainable development of the Mekong Basin. So thank you very much. And right now we still have time for a discussion and the Q&A session. So if you have any question or like to share your ideas with our speakers, so please raise your hand. And yes, we have a staff to give you the microphone. Yes, please. Please introduce yourself a bit, and then you can.
Yes, good morning, and thank you so much for the comprehensive presentation from all speakers. I'm Pongsak Sutinun from the Department of Water Resources Engineering, Chulalongkorn University. And I think, first of all, thank you so much. And I totally agree with the Nakata, Dr. Nakata, about the Mekong scientific platform, because I think the main issue is how to mainstream and upgrade the existing, the MRCS decision support system. I think this is a very good thing. However, now because the Mekong River is not like in the natural condition, because we have a lot of the hydropower project, and maybe it's time to upgrade because we operate already. That's why it's not like the 10 years ago that we don't have the infrastructure here. And the second one is about, I think now the main issue in our region is about the cross-boundary impact. Because when we have, of course, when we have something in the upstream, maybe the downstream country will get the impact. And if we can make the decision based on the scientific base information, I think this is lead to the governance also, because everybody know the same data, the same platform, and we have the collaboration to make decision. And I think will have the share benefit from the upstream to the downstream country. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Nakada, you want to respond to his?
Thank you very much for your comments on my presentations. And, you know, at the time of the discussion with some other professors and representatives about the Mekong scientific platforms, he said we have to look at the future, not just investigate causal linkage, but we have to reflect such kind of the knowledge to the future development. So of course, as I told you in my presentation, we need to care the people who are suffering from now. So, but we have to be future-oriented thinking. So that is very important. And also, there are a lot of private developers together with working together with countries. So some kind of the initiatives to limit the development by the developers, maybe we need such kind of some initiatives under the discussion and consensus building, I think. Thank you very much for your comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nakata. So I think there might be more questions, but since our schedule is very tight, so let's move to the comment to the commentator. We also have a group of Mekong SOM leaders from 2 countries, from Cambodia and as well as from Vietnam. So let's begin with Cambodia. Is that all right? So.
Thank you very much. First of all, a very good morning, distinguished colleagues, distinguished speaker, moderator, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all express Cambodia's sincere appreciation to Japan and Thailand for co-hosting the 2nd Mekong-Japan Sustainable Development Goal Forum. This forum provides a vital platform to address the water management, the challenges of climate change and transboundary air pollution, fostering greater cooperation and accelerating progress toward the SDGs. As outlined in the Mekong-Japan Initiative for SDG toward 2030 and Mekong-Japan Cooperation Strategy for 2024. On the protection of water resources from flood and drought, on behalf of the Mekong country, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the government of Japan for the signing of agreement with MSC last week, as mentioned by Ambassador Busadi. Yeah. to provide grant for the implementation of the project for strengthening flood and drought risk management in the lower Mekong Basin. The agreement marks a significant step in advancing regional effort to mitigate climate-related disaster and enhance water resource management across Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam. It is widely acknowledged that the Mekong River Basin is confronting increasingly complex hydrological challenges, with drought severely impacting upstream area and devastating flood affecting downstream community, particularly during the rainy season as a result of climate change. In Cambodia, I would like to inform the forum that normally we have flood and drought almost every year affected Cambodia. And we try our best to find a solution how to address this. And one solution that we found, for example, with reference to the flood, I just take one example with Cambodia cooperation with Laos, that we have cooperation with Laos. For example, when there is a heavy rainfall in Laos, and Laos will open the gate for the water downstream, and at that time on our part, we will be aware in advance, and we will prepare everything so that to avoid the serious damage on our part. So cooperation among countries in the region is very important to mitigate the flood. Yeah, because Cambodia is a downstream country, Cambodia and Vietnam. So normally we have flood in the region. Therefore, collaboration among Mekong countries is absolutely critical in confronting the escalating challenges of flood and drought management, which are increasingly exacerbated by climate change. Tackling these issues requires a united collective effort to ensure effective and sustainable solution. Take one more example. I think Ambassador Santipita already mentioned that the MRC key initiative is the 9C90 joint project. I just mentioned that we focus on flood and drought management at Cambodia-Thailand border. This project is a testament to the importance of cooperation effort in managing climate-induced water challenges. Both government, Cambodia and Thailand, are enhancing integrated water resources management and building climate resilience through infrastructure development, cross-sectoral collaboration, and nature-based solutions. Nature-based solutions are increasingly being adopted globally to reduce flood and drought risk. Flood protection and water management in the Mekong region require a multifaceted approach, combining infrastructure development, community involvement, and improved forecasting. The constructing and upgrading flood control infrastructure, such as levee, embankment, and reservoir, is crucial. Additionally, strengthening early warning system and improving flood forecasting model can help mitigate flood risk, particularly in vulnerable areas. International cooperation remains a cornerstone of effective flood management. Strengthening collaboration across countries and ensuring equitable water sharing is essential. Cambodia acknowledged the need for a balanced approach to hydropower development that safeguards both energy security and ecological integrity. Unregulated dam development has altered water flow, disrupted fish migration, and impact local livelihood. To mitigate these challenges, Cambodia advocates for rigorous environmental impact assessment for dam project, sustainable hydropower planning through energy diversification, enhanced transboundary water governance under the MRC, PNPCA, and community-based approaches that prioritize riparian communities in water management. In shaping the future direction, Cambodia encourages the promotion of mutually beneficial cooperation within the Mekong sub-region and with our partners. We remain strongly committed to supporting the MRC pivotal role in advancing water governance, resilience, and sustainable development. Moving forward, we encourage enhancing regional water cooperation, accelerating climate adaptation, and leverage technology for smart water management, expanding financial mobilization, strengthening community engagement, and fostering public-private partnership will be a key to ensuring sustainable and resilient water governance. To conclude, Cambodia remains steadfast in its commitment to sustainable, inclusive water resource management. The Mekong River is the livelihood of millions, and ensuring its sustainable governance is paramount to regional prosperity and environmental security. Through strengthened cooperation, innovation, and climate resilient policy, we are confident that the Mekong sub-region can meet its SDG commitment and building a more resilient, sustainable future for all. Thank you very much for your
Thank you. Thank you very much, the leader from Cambodia. So let's move to our representative from Vietnam. So please.
Distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very delighted to join all of you today in our first in-person gathering since 2021. And my sincere thanks go to the speakers and the moderators for your valuable insights, which have deepened our understanding of the complex challenges we face, particularly in water resource management and development, sustainable development goal by 2030. I would also like to extend my appreciations to Japan and Thailand for their dedicated co-chairing of this forum, which is critical as our Mekong sub-region confronts growing obstacles amid rising development needs and worsening climate impact. Globally, our path to SDG is challenging. A United Nations report estimated only 17% of the target will be met by 2030. In Asia-Pacific regions, projections show that just 33% achievement, and ASEAN could fall short of up to 90% of its goals. And our sub-region face resources constraint and making our collaboration even more essential for the progress. The Mekong River is the lifeblood of our sub-regions, sustaining millions of livelihoods across the riparian countries. Yet the river faces unprecedented threat from climate change, unsustainable practices, and rapid development, as highlighted by our speakers. And therefore, effective management is vital for ecological balance and economic prosperity. Since the inception, Mekong-Japan Cooperation has prioritized sustainable water resource management. An initiative like Japan-sponsored project for strengthening flood and drought risk management, improving irrigation facilities to the Mekong River Commissions really have helped enhance Mekong countries' capacity and strengthen our efforts. However, escalating challenges demand that we deepen the partnership. And to address this issue, I'd like to propose we are leveraging public-private partnership, sharing knowledge and expertise among riparian countries and outside partners, strengthening the work of the Mekong River Commissions, investing in infrastructure like reinforced dikes and early warning system and water level monitoring system. I very much appreciate the idea and proposed by our speaker, Dr. Kenji theory of chains and Mekong scientific platform proposal is very much worth careful considerations. Dr. Kyaw Kham Phut really emphasized the integrated river basin management, and Khun Busadi highlighted the broad and critical work of MRC, which really the fundamental pillar for our basin development corporations. And so with our strong determinations and Japan continued support, I'm very confident that our superintendent can make significant strides toward the SDG and become a model of sustainable development. I thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Director General Nok from Vietnam. So I'm sorry for our three speakers that I don't have more time for you to summarize your idea and presentation because the second session is waiting. So I think the very first session on water resource management is, I think the time is up already. So please give a big hand to all our three speakers as well as commentator from Cambodia and Vietnam. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you all the panelists as well as the comment from Cambodia's and Vietnam SOM leaders. Now we take a break for 15 minutes and then return for the next session. Refreshments are available at the foyer, so please feel free to help yourself. We will start the second session in 15 minutes, so please make sure that we return by on time. Ladies and gentlemen, the second session will begin shortly. May we ask you to kindly take a seat, please? Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Ms. Sivaporn, an expert in the air qualities and noise management from the Pollution Control Department, Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment of Thailand, who will be our moderator for the second sessions on trans-boundary haze and pollution. Please.
Good morning, everyone. And sorry for taking you waiting, right? Thank you for joining today's session on trans-boundary haze and pollution. Sivaporn Rangsiyanon, I will be your moderator for about 1 hour. And we have a distinguished group of speakers who will share their expertise on this critical issue. And you all know that trans-boundary haze pollution is a pressing concern to our region. It's not just a national issue, but one that requires regional collaboration. Let me quick rundown of the session. First, we will hear from 2 experts from Vietnam and Thailand. And then we're going to have Q&A section for about 15 to 20 minutes. And finally, we'll hear comments from the Mekong Som leaders. Without further delay, let's begin. Firstly, may I invite our speaker, Dr. Cao from Vietnam and Ms. Nayana from Thailand on the stage, please. And please welcome. Okay, let's begin. Our first speaker is Dr. Lee Ngoc Cao, Deputy Director General of the Vietnam Institute of Meteorology, Hydrology, and Climate Change. Dr. Cao is an expert in environmental science and has led Vietnam's effort to tackle trans-boundary air pollution. Today, he will discuss about Vietnam's effort towards haze and pollution. Dr. Cao, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. MC. So could you please turn on my presentation? Yes. First of all, I would like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand for co-hosting this very important event. We think that this event is very important and timely organized in this ever-changing world and also the ever-increasing climate change and extreme weather events. So as requested by the Secretariat, I would like to make a presentation on air pollution control in Vietnam, and it's with focus on haze pollution controls. So my presentation will be consist of 4 main contents. The first is I would like to make a very brief introduction of our institution, and the second is an overview of air quality and air pollution in Vietnam, and the air quality monitoring in Vietnam. And I would like to share with you about our latest government initiative and strategy to tackle the air pollution and haze pollution in Vietnam. And for our institution, Vietnam Institute of Meteorology, Hydrology, and Climate Change, we are a public research institution under the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment. And now we have the new ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment. Our key research activities including the air quality management, environmental quality management, air pollution control, and the second is hydrology and meteorology forecasting and the climate change, and also the hydrology. And we do the public research work and also the consulting service for both the public and private sector in Vietnam. And next is an overview of air pollution in Vietnam. In Vietnam, we have, especially in the major cities and in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh cities now, we are facing a serious air pollution in Vietnam. We did some research on the characteristics of air pollution in Vietnam. We found out that the air pollutants in Vietnam mainly is PM, and SOx and NOx and VOC. And the air pollution is now commonly happened in urban areas and industrial areas, especially, and it is very worse during the dry season, like this time in the year, where the weather is very dry and the humidity is very high. And we don't have strong wind, so the stagnant air. And we did some research that with international organization and domestic, we found out that there are some already public health concerns about the air pollution in Vietnam. And the causes of haze pollution in Vietnam, with some inventory research and other research on quantifying the air pollution and the haze pollution, we found out that there are four main parts of haze pollution in Vietnam. The first is that from the traffic. We found out that the major PM pollution in Vietnam, the traffic sectors, like in the urban areas, like in big cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. And the second source is the industrial activities, the manufacturing, with the main source of the SOx and NOx and PM. And the third is the biomass or open burning. In Vietnam now, there's still, especially in the rural area, the open burning is still happening. So it's contribute a major source of air pollution, especially after the crop harvesting season. And also the construction is also the major source. And we did some research on the transboundary movement, and we found out that in some times of the year, especially when we have the strong wind from the northern part, so the air pollution is now increasing in this season. So there could be a contribution from the outside part of Vietnam with the transboundary. And in Vietnam also, especially in the northern part, that the meteorological data, the factors also contribute to the stagnant air and also the air pollution in the northern part in Vietnam. And here's some very quick glance of air quality in Vietnam. The monitoring data shows that in Vietnam, the air quality is getting worsened. And especially last year and the year before, the monitoring data of PM2.5, a very critical air pollutants that can impact our health, has been increasing. And in some monitoring stations, the monitor data already exceeds the national standard. In some times, it is more than 2 times higher than the national standard. And the source of air pollution, our institution, we did some study on inventorying and modeling about to quantify the source of air pollution in Vietnam. And here I would like to share with you that the main source is the light source, meaning that like the transportation or during the time of the days that there are some construction activities, so the air pollution is increasing. The second source is the area sources, like meaning that the areas that are located, concentrated industrial activities. And the third source is the point sources, like from the factories or from where the source is located. And we found out that the traffics, the main source of air pollution in Vietnam is the traffics, and it contributes nearly 90% for the NOx and nearly 100% for the VOC. And the second is industrial activities, with about nearly 40% of industrial activities contributes to the SO2 emission in Hanoi city alone. And the third one is the area sources account for more than 30% of TSP and 14% of PM2.5 and 17% of PM10 in Hanoi city. So it is from our research institution research data, we conduct a field survey, monitoring, and also modeling to quantify the different sources of contribution of air pollution. And here the source of air pollution in Hanoi, we contribute to break down for the different kind of transportation And we found out that the three main type of transportation is motorcycle, motorbikes. The second is a heavy truck, and the third one is a bus. And the details, we already have this kind of data, and we publish. And because of the limited time, so I cannot talk in detail about this. If any one of you interested in our research, I will be willing to share with you and to discuss with you about our study and also the methodology we use and the model to quantify these different type of sources. And we also did a similar study in Ho Chi Minh City, the biggest city in Vietnam now. And we found out that similar to Hanoi, the main type of sources is the line sources, and the second is the area source, and the third one is the point sources, similar to Hanoi. For other, for the different type of air pollutants, and for in Ho Chi Minh City, the motorcycle, motorbike are the main source of emission, and it contributes nearly 100% of CO2 and nearly 50% of non-volatile organic matters. And next, I would like to present about talk about the air quality monitoring in Vietnam. In Vietnam, we have the two types of national air quality monitoring network. The first one is the National Air Quality Monitoring Network. This National Air Quality Monitoring Network is run and operated by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment. And we monitor all of the data, and the second is the local or the provincial monitoring network. This local or provincial monitoring network is run by the Provincial Department of Natural Resources and Environment. And they also submit the data, the monitoring data to MONLAE so that we can have the integrated national monitoring data. And in Vietnam now, the monitoring network is, we have two types of monitoring, the manually run monitoring and the automatic monitoring network. And I would like to share with you that in Vietnam now we are also conducting the LCS, the low-cost sensors for some cities. But at this moment, the LCS is not yet officially recognized as the official data. We are still in the calibrating and testing the accuracy of the LCS. So we hope that in the future, when the technology is improvement and with the more data, we can have some kind of LCS data which can be supplementary to the conventional monitoring network. And here's the pictures of the air quality monitoring networks. Actually, in Vietnam now, the density or the coverage of air quality monitoring network is still inadequate, and we are the national government. We are in the next 3 or 5 years. They have already developed a plan to increasing the monitoring network so that we can have the increase the data, the coverage, and to cover more area and for more real time and data coverage for the monitoring. And here's how we manage the air quality monitoring data. We have the national monitoring database, and with the database here there are two main input to this database. The first is from the national monitoring networks. The second is from the provincial monitoring networks. They also submit the data to the national monitoring data center base. So we have the centralized national monitoring database. And by regulation, some industry and some factories that have huge amount of discharge, they also need to submit the real-time data, air quality and water quality monitoring data to the provincial and to the national monitoring data. And now I would like to talk about the challenges and some initiative by Vietnamese government. How do we tackle the air pollution and haze pollution in Vietnam? The challenges, we have identified 4 main challenges. First is the high emission sources. We found out that, as I presented before, that the major source now is the air from the traffic, and the serious problem is the PM2.5 in the major cities. And the second is that the industrial activities. With the industrialization and urbanization now, the 2 main sources are the transport and the manufacturing. And the second challenge is that we have a very limited air quality monitoring and data management. As I said that our monitoring network, the station, is still inadequate to have the coverage of the national. So we don't have in many cases, we don't have the real-time monitoring data. And the third challenge is the enforcement of the regulation is not strong in Vietnam. And another challenge is that we have some like kind of transboundary movement of air pollution and haze. So we need some kind of international cooperation or the data sharing or the transparency so that we can manage the issue. And for the initiative in Vietnam, the Vietnamese government, we recognize the serious of the air pollution, and the Vietnamese government already launched issue some important policy or strategy to tackle the air pollution. The Vietnamese government, they will invest in improving the air quality monitoring networks across the countries. And they also invest in emission control technologies. And already with the transportation, we invested in green transportation. And in Hanoi now, you can see we have the EV bus and also Ho Chi Minh City. And so we invested in BRT in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. And we also invested in technologies for the low technology in transport sector and other technologies for low cost transport and low cost and low carbon technologies. And for the national government, the Vietnamese government, we are invested and encouraged the domestic collaboration between provinces and regional to tackle the issues. And we also focus on side with some other international organizations to strengthen the international partnership and regional initiative to collaborate on research, joint research, data sharing, and transparency to tackle the air pollution. And we also have some joint regional initiative, like we are partner for the EANET, the acid deposition network in East Asia, to share the data, not only in acid deposition, but also on PM 2.5 monitoring. And also we have already invested in the joint research with other international organizations to share the latest data and also the technologies. So that is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gao, for that insightful presentation. Actually, I and Dr. Gao, we work together like 10 years, so we see a lot of improvement of air quality management in Vietnam as well. And for your presentation, I see that the Vietnamese government put big effort both in terms of technology and also policy. And we still have the same concern, right, that we have in-country air pollution and also transboundary haze. That's why we need to work together for our Mekong sub-region. Let's go to the next presenter, Ms. Nayana Chai Thiem Wong. She is the Director of the Health Impact Assessment Division at Thailand's Ministry of Public Health. She will discuss the health impacts of haze pollution and the necessary mitigation measures.
Thank you very much. And first of all, thank you for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Japan and Thailand that held this meeting. And thank you for your attention, everyone. Actually, I think nearly every country that face the problem of the haze pollution or air pollution, even Thailand or Vietnam or Laos, as Dr. Gao already mentioned. So in the part of the public health or health, it is a downstream because of the source, it's upstream and then go to the middle stream, and then people who will be affected by the pollution. So let's see the first slide. So the health impact caused by the hair pollution. If you see on the left side, so you will see that the 9 of 10 people worldwide breathe the air that exceeded the air quality guideline, which the pollution will affect every organs in the body, and also that a threat of our health, and also linked to like various problem or the disease like a respiratory disease or cardiovascular disease, even your eye or your skin, that also affect from the air pollution. So if we look at the public health and the economic impact assessment from the PM 2.5 from the open biomass burning over the country in the mainland of the Southeast Asia during the smog episode. On the left side, so you will see that the dark area that shows the high concentration of the PM 2.5 that caused from the open biomass burning. And in the middle, as you see the skull, that all cause of the air pollution that caused a death of the around 78,000 cases in the Southeast Asia, and also we can count for the respiratory disease at about 6,700 cases, and also a cardiovascular disease like 1,000 cases. For on the right side, if we consider on the economic impact or economic burden, it costs around 23 million that's too much. That cost from the problem of the air pollution from the open burning in the Southeast Asia. Then if we look at the morbidity rate caused by the PM 2.5 during the October 2023 to March 2025. If you look at the green box, you will see that the number of the cases increased as the air pollution increased, which linked to the several diseases like asthma, cardiovascular disease, also the COPD, and also dermatitis. So that's show that there's a relationship between the air pollution, especially the PM 2.5, and the illness of the people, especially the elderly or the vulnerable group, like children, pregnant women, and other the people who have immunocompromised. So from that problem, so we can move towards from health to solution that can build a healthier future together. So for Thailand, we have like a comprehensive strategy, the national public health measures for PM 2.5. We have like 4 strategies. The first one is raising the awareness and promote the clean organization. We have the activity on the communication and building the public awareness. And also we promote the clean organization to reduce pollution, especially in the healthcare facility and others. The second one is about the reduce and prevent the health impact. So we have set up a system of the health impact surveillance and warning. So we have like not the application, but we have system that we can tell people that when the air pollution or PM 2.5 going to increase, then we can send the warning to them. So like in the last month, every day we have the communicate to the people that which area that have the high concentration of the PM 2.5 so they can protect themselves. And also we have the prevention health impact in the vulnerable group. So in some cases that they have, in some area that they have the highest concentration of PM 2.5, then we will have like a measures. For example, in Bangkok last month, so there's a measure of the work from home that people can stop using reduce the using of the vehicle or use of public transport, or maybe the people who want to go for exercise, they can have to refrain from the outdoor activity that to protect themselves. And also we have the measure to provide a clean air room and also dust proofing net. Then I will talk about the detail later. So the next one, the third strategy is to provide medical and public health services. So we have set up the medical and public health service network. So we call the pollution clinic that can be on-site or online. And also we have a system of what we call Mo Prom in Thai, and probably in English maybe ready to service for medical service. That will be the appointment system for the people. Also we have a public health operational team that will be support for the vulnerable group in the community. And also we provide personal protective equipment. For the fourth strategy, we have a public health management system, which over all the country, we have a public health emergency operation center in the nearly every province. And then they will be called out by the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Public Health to announce that if they want, they will open the center or not. It depends on the amount of the PM 2.5 in each area. Then we also promote and enforce the law that related to the problem of the air pollution. For example, the Public Health Act, and also the other one is Occupational and Environmental Disease Act. So let's go to detail in the first one, raising the public awareness and strengthening community participation on PM 2.5. We have communication and give the education to the people. We have real-time monitoring and communication. We have the health risk warning. And also the community engagement and participation is very, very important because the people in the community or in the small group that can help us to give information to people, to another one. And also we're strengthening the institutional capacity. So we try to communicate with several group of people and also the institute. We have different channels like on air, online, and on ground that we can communicate or send information to the people. And also the strengthening community participation because a community is a grassroots for the fundamental behavioral change for better air pollution and management practice. Here are some pictures of the activities that we did in the community. The second one, we have prevent health impact in the vulnerable group. So this one is about the clean air room. The clean air room is a room that can prevent the PM 2.5 from the outside by filtering and also purifying air inside the room. So we have focus on the group of the children, small children that children is very, very sensitive to the air pollution. So we have the activities like a guideline, how to set the clean air room. We have developed the online platform. So if you see on the left side, you will see on the map, the dot of the clean air room in the different part of the country, especially in the northern part, which is more sensitive to the PM 2.5. We also have activities on the sharing the knowledge and best practice and also the monitoring and also the capacity building for the public health officer and also the teacher that they can know how to protect the children. Also, we have coordination with the public and private sector that can help set up the clean air room. So at the moment, we have more than 17,000 rooms around the country. Next one, it's also another protective innovation. So the first one, clean air room, we got the collaboration from the Faculty of the Engineering, Chiang Mai University, as well as for the dust proofing net. Also the innovation from the University of Chiang Mai. So it is a normal cotton mosquito net, and then we connect with the air filtering and also the fan. So like in the pictures on the left side. So inside the net, there will be a decrease of the PM 2.5 compared to the outside. And this one, we focus on the vulnerable groups, such as the elderly, people with underlying health condition, especially the respiratory disease. So at the moment, we have distributed this dust-proofing net to around 1,000, 2,000 set to the people in the northern part of Thailand. The next one is about the provide the medical and public health services. So like I mentioned before that the pollution clinic that's set up for the people to have like a connect to the doctors. That's a specialized clinic that from those who affected from the PM 2.5 and that aims to reduce the severity and symptom that require the hospital admission. So they can like consult, ask for the treatment or the health education, and also can make appointment in the system through the Mawprom. And currently we have the 81 pollution clinic and also 158 online pollution clinic around the country. Also another thing that we have support for the personal protective equipment like masks, like surgical masks, N95 masks, and also communicate with people that how to wear the mask and use the proper appropriate type of mask and how to wear it properly. For the next one is a collaboration with the Mekong country. So at the first one, we have like a policy and strategy. We have a Clear Sky strategy, which is under the letter of the agreement on health promotion and environmental health, which start in 2023 to 2025. And for the letter of the agreement that we want to enhance the exchange the information and staff, human resource, and human resource development, such as the short course, training program, and study visit for the health personnel, and joint research and study in the area of health promotion and environmental health. And for the Clear Sky strategy, that's to address the cross-border smoke and haze pollution in 3 countries. So we have like a different meaning of the clear, CLEAR. And the second one, we have developed the PM 2.5 surveillance system with the Lao PDR. So we have the collaboration and also support from the Chiang Mai University to install the dashboard, which is the air pollution monitoring equipment into the area or some province of the Lao PDR, like I'm not sure, it's about 5 to 10 set. And also for the clean air, we have another project on the clean air school. This is to create the clean air for the students for the healthier. So we have activities on that. And I think we also have support from the other organization. So I think at the moment we have like 10 schools in Lao PDR. And for the recommendation, so from what I mentioned, I think we have to work together. The first one is to utilize the cooperative mechanism to exchange the best practice and sharing knowledge and experience. And to intensify the efforts and further strong action and measures to control air pollution source and reduce the health impact. And the last one is about the technical capacity building for the health practitioner and local authority on air pollution control. We have to work together in the Mekong country or even in the ASEAN country because we have the connection of the border. So once there's a problem in one country, they will affect the other country. So if we see now that the hotspot, even in Thailand, we have like a good, better situation of PM 2.5. But then if there is a more hotspot in the area, neighboring area, so we will get the problem again. So we have to work together to build up all the better environment and better health for all of our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nayana, for that enlightening presentation. I had catch that, I see that Thailand move very advanced in terms of public protection from air pollution. We work, just start from prevention, right, until you take care of the public health. We always say that air pollution has health effect, but we don't have like in-depth study enough. But from Thailand Ministry of Health, we see how important that you put effort on this, and you work with like multi-stakeholders and cross-sectoral. That's very important in terms of public health. And one of the most thing that I think very benefit our Mekong sub-region is early warning system, right? And then how to take care of the people, especially vulnerable group. So now we move to Q&A section. I would like to invite all of you to ask the question directly to our speakers. Please feel free to raise your hand and introduce yourself first so we can know you. We also have chat box, right? We can get the question from the chat box as well. Any question or any comment from the floor? I think our speaker made a very clear presentation, that's why, or maybe you are hungry, right? Okay, yes, please.
So good morning. My name's John Dore. I work at the Australian Embassy here in Bangkok. Thank you both very much. I learned a lot about what Thailand and Vietnam are doing to protect people and to respond. I'm interested in how you are, both countries, dealing with the main sources. So, really what are the big issues that you would hope that your leaderships would address to actually make your job easier in responding because the source is controlled? Thanks.
Yes, thank you very much for the very good question. Actually, being a researcher and also a consultant for not only Vietnamese government but also for international organization, I already made some recommendation to the Vietnamese government through the Ministry of Natural Resource and Environment that first, to tackle the air pollution, we need to identify the source and to map out the pollution area. And in our research, we already, I mean that to some extent, we already successfully identify what are the main sources. And in my institution and myself now, we are mapping out the main, the zoning, the sources and the air pollution. And the next step is that the Vietnamese government, we will, I think they will soon issue the policy for emission quota, meaning that if you exceed the quota, you have to pay for that. So that to some way to reduce the air pollution. And the second is that we will enforce a more stricter inventory and monitoring network to make sure that they will comply with the regulation. Otherwise, they will face the penalty or for some other can I say the punishment by the law, the regulation. So this is the next step, yes. And for the transportation, the Vietnamese government, we already launched the initiative for the green transportation. As I mentioned that in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City now, we have the EV buses, and we also building the public transport like the BRT and the metro to reduce the private transport in the two major cities. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. I think not only in Thailand, or I think every country had a problem of the resource, manpower. Okay, for Thailand, if we consider the source of the pollution, so they also have a problem of the manpower and human resource, because once someone has ignite or burn maybe the forest or whatever, then they will not have people, the officer to catch up with everyone. And also the same in the public health part. So I think we try to use the innovation and the technology, and also I think we have to thank for the COVID. So that made the online system is very powerful for us for today. So in public health part, we use we try to create like a system online, and also we have the collaboration with the local government. It's not only the public health officer can do everything. So we have collaboration with the local authority, also private sector. We have like a volunteer public health officer in the community, which is the smaller part of the public health system. So we for example, for the PM 2.5, at the beginning, since last year, we have like a online meeting that the permanent secretary will tell every province what they have to do. And then there will be like a downstream to the several office to the community. And also for example, for the clean air room, we have a system online. Then the people can come and learn how to set up that. And also they can also access and monitor. We can access, and they can access themselves. We also can monitor through the system online. So we use like technology, and maybe in the future, maybe we use AI, but now it's not, now we are not go to that. So we just try to use everything that can help, that we can work effectively and to protect people as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you all the panelists and moderators for such a productive discussions, as well as comment from some leader of the Lao PDR and Myanmar. Thank you so much.
Distinguished Mekong Japan Sum leaders and all participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan for co-hosting the second Sustainable Development Goals Forum. My thanks also goes to the moderator and the two speakers for your insightful and comprehensive presentations on the transboundary haze and pollution prevention and mitigation. Taking this opportunity, I would like to have some comments on the topic as follows. The Lao PDR, as like the other Mekong member countries, recognize the critical importance of addressing transboundary haze and pollution, particularly in alignment with the Mekong-Japan Cooperation Strategy 2024. This strategy underscores the need for regional collaboration and collective action to tackle environmental challenges that transcends national boundary. For the Lao PDR, engaging with neighboring countries in the Mekong sub-region present valuable opportunities to develop and implement comprehensive policies aimed at reducing emissions from agricultural practices, industrial activities, and other sources that contribute to haze. By working together, we can address the root cause of pollution and ensure a cleaner, healthier environment for all. To effectively mitigate haze and pollution, It is imperative for Mekong member countries to adopt and promote sustainable agriculture practices. Traditional methods such as slash and burn agriculture have been identified as a significant contributors to haze pollution. Under the framework of the Mekong-Japan Cooperation Strategy, we can collaborate to develop targeted training programs that educate farmers on environmentally friendly techniques. These include agroforestry, integrated pest management, organic farming, and the use of alternative land clearing methods that minimize environmental impacts. By empowering farmers with sustainable practices, we can reduce emissions while enhancing agricultural productivity and resilience. Furthermore, the establishment of a robust regional air quality monitoring and data sharing system is essential for informed decision-making and effective response strategies. The Mekong-Japan Cooperation Strategy encourages member states to enhance their monitoring capabilities and foster collaboration in data collection, analysis, and dissemination. By leveraging advanced technologies and sharing real-time data, we can improve our ability to identify pollution sources, assess their impact, and implement timely and targeted interventions. In addition to this measure, the LAPIDA emphasized the importance of public awareness campaign and community engagement in addressing haze and pollution, educating local communities about the health and environmental impacts of haze, as well as the benefits of sustainable practices can drive behavioral change and foster a culture of environmental stewardship. Partnership with civil society organizations and the private sector will be critical in amplifying these efforts and ensuring their long-term success. Finally, the LAPIDA calls for increased investment in green technologies and renewable energy as part of a holistic approach to pollution prevention. Transitioning to cleaner energy sources and promoting energy efficiency in industries and households can significantly reduce emissions and contribute to a more sustainable future. The Mekong-Japan Cooperation Strategy provides a valuable platform to mobilize resources, share best practices, and implement innovative solutions that address the dual challenges of environmental protection and economic development. Thank you for your attention.
Some leaders of the Mekong-Japan Corporations and distinguished speakers and dear participants, very good morning. And first of all, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation and thanks to Japan and Thailand for hosting this important event. So as mentioned in the objectives of the forum, is very timely to discuss on those issues like water resources management and transboundary haze pollution that the Mekong sub-region face as a significant challenges today. And if I may brief on what I understand from our speaker. So Dr. Khan mentioned that haze pollution and its impacts on the socioeconomic and environmental on the environment. And secondly, he also mentioned the causes and sources of the haze pollution. And thirdly, he also gave the information on the air quality monitoring activities in the Vietnam. And also he gave the challenges as well as technological solutions. And of course, in the next step, the national and international cooperation in the initiative of the Vietnam in this fight against the haze pollution. And also our second speaker, Ms. Nairma, since she is from an official from the public health ministry, she gave the very comprehensive information on the health impacts caused by the haze pollution. So she also shared the information on the Thailand's initiative to protect the impact on the health of the people affected by the haze pollution. And also she gave the information on the collaboration with the Mekong country. And so most importantly, the both speakers, they gave the information, the challenges that we face, the cause and, the cause and sources of the causes of the haze pollution. They also share the very important kind of technological solutions for the Mr. Kong, and as well as the recommendation from the Ms. Nairman to resolve the issue. And taking this opportunity also, I would also like to share the same information, the initiative of Myanmar on the addressing the transboundary haze pollution. So Myanmar has actively engaged in the trilateral discussion with Thailand, Laos, to enhance the collective action on the transboundary haze pollution. In April 2021, the Prime Minister of Myanmar, Thailand, and Laos, they held a trilateral video conference to address transboundary haze pollution. The meeting reinforced the importance of the stronger regional collaboration to mitigate the environmental and public health impacts of the haze. As a result, the Joint Plan of Action Clear Sky Strategy 2024-2030 was established to provide a structured and unified approach to fire prevention and air quality management. In a national level, Myanmar has established a robust national policy and legislative frameworks aimed at mitigating fire-related air pollution and addressing the transboundary haze. These measures focus on strengthening fire prevention and early warning system and enhancing collaboration with regional partners to tackle transboundary haze pollution challenges. Myanmar has achieved a significant progress in addressing the transboundary haze pollution. The total number of hotspots in 2024 show a decline compared to 2023, indicating progress in fire management initiative. In a regional collaboration, Myanmar is actively participating in ASEAN Agreement on Transboundary Haze Pollution to implement the fire hotspot and transboundary haze pollution control in line with the Chiang Rai Action Plan 2017. And the second roadmap for ASEAN cooperation on transboundary haze pollution control with means of implementation. Besides, we always cooperate with our neighboring countries like China, Thailand, and Laos for the fire prevention and transboundary haze pollution control. Myanmar reaffirms its strong commitment with Thailand and Laos to the regional cooperation in combating transboundary haze pollution. Recognizing the urgency of this issue, Myanmar, along with Thailand and Laos, has taken proactive steps to implement the Joint Plan of Action Clear Sky Strategy 2024-2023. This comprehensive framework aims to establish long-term sustainable solutions for fire and haze mitigating in the region through coordinated and strategic efforts to be a haze-free region. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now we come to the end of the session. Once again, I would like to thank you, our distinguished speakers and the Mekong Som leader. But before ending today, I just have one word for you to think that 2030 is closer than we think. And air pollution control and management is expensive and complicated, but still be the work and big challenge that we have to come together and work together to solve it. And then we're going to go to sustainable management. Thank you very much for all today.
Thank you very much for all the panelists and our moderators. Now it is my honor to invite Mr. Kashiwabara Yutaka, Ambassador in charge of cooperation with ASEAN and Deputy Director General of Southeast and Southwest Asian Affairs, Department, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan, to the stage to deliver his closing remarks. Please, Ambassador.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I am very pleased to be here to join the second Mekong-Japan SDG Forum. I found the discussion very productive and very interesting as we shared meaningful information and exchanged views among the representatives and experts from the Mekong region countries and Japan and elsewhere. I personally learned a lot about the cause, background, policy, and strategies behind this, regarding these issues, and also about the challenges which we face together. I would like to thank all the speakers, the moderators, the MC, and everybody who gathered for this event in this room, and everybody who is listening online. The two topics we discussed today, namely water resources management and transboundary haze pollution, are critical and urgent issues that directly affect the lives of people in the Mekong sub-region. As was pointed out many times, it is essential for the Mekong countries to collaborate in addressing these transboundary challenges, and Japan would like to work with all the countries concerned. As Ms. Busadi, CEO of the Mekong River Commission, presented in Water Resources Management session, we believe that MRC, the Mekong River Commission, is a key player in transboundary water management. It is with this recognition that Japan decided to provide new grant assistance of around $4.8 million to the Mekong River Commission. We hope with this assistance, it will strengthen the comprehensive flood and drought early warning system and also develop adaptation guidelines for flood and drought, aiming to enhance measures against both the frequent flooding and large-scale drought in the lower Mekong River basin. We will continue to cooperate with the MRC. Japan is also collaborating with the Mekong countries to address the haze pollution. We have pledged support for a project to promote information sharing on early warning for local and regional air pollution in the Mekong sub-region. This project was adopted last November, and this project was adopted last November at the so-called ENET. At today's event, many important points were raised, leading to a productive discussion on the future of Mekong-Japan cooperation. This is an important issue to all of us. Japan is eager to work together as a long-standing partner in addressing transboundary issues in the Mekong sub-region. As highlighted in today's discussion, we aim to build a co-creation relationship with the Mekong countries, where Japan's DX and GX initiatives can contribute to solutions for the sub-regional challenges. Finally, I would like to thank once again the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand, the moderators, speakers, everybody who has participated and worked for this event. I think this event has been a very productive and a good opportunity for us to move forward on this very important issue and urgent challenges we face together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador Kashiwabara. Ambassador, please remain on the stage for the group photo. Now, I would like to invite Deputy Director General Bang Tips, some leaders of the Mekong countries, and all panelists and moderators onto the stage to have a group photo, please. Thank you, Deputy Director, Ambassador, some leader, and all panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the forum. Thank you once again for joining us at the second Mekong Japan SDG Forum. We truly hope that you have gained a useful information and perhaps even inspiration from both sessions. With continued cooperation between Mekong regions and Japan, we surely move even closer to achieving SDG in the near future. Lastly, lunch will be served at the Up and Above restaurant on the 24th floor. Please kindly represent Khun Pong, received it at the registration desk to the hotel staff. Thank you. Thank you for today.